part. So if a case, if in a case that the the team from the client and they are not responding, and we have to immediately contain the particular device or as a server. Do we have the access of the client from our side, or do we have an emergency term that we can remotely contain that particular device or a server from us from the SOC team?
Okay,
Do we
so
have
again,
that access?
okay, I got it. So again, I'll say like the questions that you're asking is like really, really good today. The one that you asked for reporting was also really quite good. And again, this one that you asked is again kind of a real scenario. Thank you for kind of raising this question again. So thing is that for this part, there are multiple things that can be done. Okay. So there are two things that you need to kind of figure out. There are three things that you kind of need to kind of keep on mind. The first thing is preparation. The second thing is escalation. And the third thing is verification. Okay. So if for this kind of scenario, these are the things, if you are addressing these all three terms, you will be kind of handling any kind of incident. Okay. So the first scenario that you told, the first thing is like, let's say, the team, the client is not responding to the to kind of, let's say, to the preparation part. Okay. So what we do is that in that case, we prepare for this kind of scenarios in the preparation stage itself. Okay. That, okay, what would happen if the client doesn't respond? That, okay, I need to do a containment and the client is not responding. So we need to figure out our ways before that thing happened in the preparation stage itself. Okay. So that is one thing. Now, so this is something that you need to kind of do that in the preparation stage, how you will kind of handle that incident. Now, what is the way to handle that incident? I will now kind of quickly explain how to handle that incident. So let's say you are dealing with an employee who is at the client side, and he is not responding to you. So what you do is that you just drop an email first telling that you will escalate the situation in next, let's say in next 5 minutes. Okay. And what I mean by escalation is that after 5 minutes, you drop an email. Okay. Drop an email to the employee, keeping his or her manager in CC. Okay. And telling that, and in that email you say that you reached out to that employee, let's say at 8 a.m. and now it's 8:10 and still like you haven't received any response, and it's very critical to kind of contain that incident, and you keep that manager in CC. So what will happen is that maybe that manager will see that notification on the email, and what they will do is that they will try to allocate a different resource to your team that will work with you to kind of contain the incident. And if this manager is also not responding, just wait for 10 minutes, and what you do is that you in CC add boss of the manager itself to specify that even the manager is not responding or taking your call. Okay. But at the same time, you should be kind of really very what do you say, cautious that the ask that you are asking to the client to kind of contain, is it really necessary or not? If it is really necessary, then only you follow this path, the escalation, and you do the escalation as soon as possible. You don't, like, if it is really important incident that you need to contain, don't wait for kind of conducting the escalation, let's say in next 30 minutes. Do that instantly in, like, let's say 5 minutes. Okay. So this is very important, and I also used to normally do that. And the last part, that is the verification. So when the client says, so let's say there was a website, there was a URL which was publicly accessible. It was publicly accessible. And the thing is that what you do is that the client told that this website is no more publicly accessible, for an example. Okay. So what you do is that you verify that. Okay, if that controls are in place. So are you still able to access that website? So you verify that, and if that verification failed, you note that down, and also you tell the client that, okay, the verification has failed, you need to address that issue. So to answer your question, you need to kind of work upon these three things: preparation, escalation, and verification. If you're doing these three things, you won't be facing this kind of scenario going forward. Like you'll be able to handle this kind of scenario in a very, very, very easy way. Okay. So I hope I answered your question. Is there any other clarification you need, guys?
No, sir. So, we'll be having this privilege, sir. We'll be doing from our end, right? SOC
Yes.
team will be having that privilege.
Yes, SOC team should have that privilege. And what we also do is that in the preparation stage itself, you normally what happen is that you will get a escalation matrix chart. Okay. In that escalation matrix chart, you will have the contact ID, definitely the name, email ID, and phone number of the person. So let's say you first escalate to employee A, who is the manager, and then in the escalation metric chart, it will be actually written that okay, if that person doesn't respond in let's say 15 minutes, everything will be written. You don't need to figure out okay, should I escalate in next 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Everything will be written in the escalation metric chart that you, if it is not prepared, you need to prepare that with working with the client. And then let's say in the 15 minutes, if the person is not responding, what you do is that you call employee B. Okay, you call you drop an email to employee B. Okay, and in similar fashion, you reach till certain higher leadership. Let's say you reach till senior vice president. Okay, and then what you do is that you again come back, and if even the SVP is not responding, then you again come back to this part. Okay, and then you follow that cycle going forward. So this escalation matrix chart is actually most of the time all the company has, all the SOC team has, and if it is not with the client that you are working for, I'll ask you that you prepare this escalation matrix chart as soon as possible, because this will be really handy going forward for any kind of incident that you handle. Okay, so I hope escalation matrix chart is clear, and this is like we have certain privileges, for an example. And for me, what I normally do is that I actually first, rather than typing the email or maybe what I do is normally I just give a call. I just give a call and take the necessary information that I need. And if the person is not picking the call, I document that up, and I also call his supervisors and try to explain the incident and try to get the response from him. Okay, so this is how actually the incident happened. You need to kind of be prepared. You need to kind of understand that escalation is as much important as doing the investigation, and you also need to kind of verify the things. Okay, so I hope I answered your question. Any other clarification on this one, guys?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, and yeah, really thankful again to you that you raised these two questions, because these two questions somehow skipped my mind. I was having this thing planned to discuss this thing, but somehow it skipped my mind. So thank you for raising this, and I was able to kind of recall and kind of address this queries for you. So thank you once again. And thing is, guys, so now let's wind up and we continue our discussion from starting from tomorrow. Okay, so see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.